Hello everyone, it's June 7th and I'm John Russo with Provision Processing System, and I'm going to show you how the recipe mixing system works. I'll do this kind of in two parts. So first thing we have to do is get the recipe into the actual system and then we process it. So to get the recipe in the system, we go to edit user data, recipes, and recipe detail. So in this case, we want to make some 6-ounce elk, but that requires spice mix A and some meat. So spice mix A is a common ingredient that you're putting in everything. Okay, so we make that its own product. So first thing we did, we went into recipe name, we put in the word spice mix A, we told it that it was a finished good and hit plus. So that started the recipe. Then what we can do is we can go in and add ingredients into spice mix A. So spice mix A can have a finished good in it. It can have an action, be a weighment, wait for time, things like that. So the first thing that I did was, let's say we were adding in, additionally to this, I don't know, vinegar. I don't know if it's a product. I probably should have checked that first, but oh, there's vinegar. So let's say we wanted to add vinegar to this spice mix. I don't know. We can reference product ID, then the description automatically fills out for you that this is red wine vinegar. And it says that we're going to weigh it. We're going to put in 3 pounds of vinegar. We're going to put in, our tolerance is 10% on that. And we click add. So now we've got red miscellaneous, whatever, Ms. vinegar red wine. So now that's in the recipe. I'm going to remove that because we don't need it, but you'll see what we do further on. Make sure we want to delete that, so I delete that line. So now to make spice mix A, we need to do these things. We need to weigh 10 pounds, 5 pounds, and 2 pounds of each. Okay. Then our next thing is, okay, now we're going to make some 6-ounce elk sausage. So what do? We did the same thing as we did above. We created a recipe. We now are taking that. We took that finished good, the spice mix A, and added that into this recipe. Then we added our other ingredients: 140 pounds of ground elk, 60 pounds of ground pork. We told it to use casing A and stuff to 6.5 ounces each. That's the recipe. Okay. Next thing we have to do is now we have to actually create a batch to use that recipe. So this recipe stays in the system. You can reuse it all you want. So to use that recipe, we go to Edit, User Data, Recipes, Recipe Entry. And in here, since today is the June 7th, we'll create a new one. We're going to make some of that 6-ounce elk. These are the recipes that are in the system, but I'm going to make the 6-ounce elk. I want to make 12 blends. A blend is like each one of those recipes. So you can make 12 of them. In case you have a mixing bowl that can't, you got to break it down to 12 separate units. That's what a blend is. So you have your batch and your blend. And what are we going to call it? What's our batch number? 2022 06 07 2. I was testing before. I have one in there. That's a 1. Your available date and high date. This is at the scale. It won't show at the scale unless it's today's date, or available date. So you can kind of create recipes for tomorrow if you wanted to. And we're going to call this our test elk lot. And these lot extra fields, if you wish to put in additional fields for the labeling that don't, each label in the system is associated to a product. So in the system, we have a product, let's say it's elk sausage. Elk sausage will have several labels associated to it. There's the tray pack label, which is the inner piece label, and then there's the case label. So those labels and that product have a bunch of static pieces of information associated with it. But let's say just for this lot, you want to change something. You can have lot fields that print on the label. So now that we're done, if we want to put in a lot of additional fields to print on the label, you could put we could put PO123 if that needed to be on the label. and we hit save. Now if you see our, what we call it, called it elk test, elk lot, test elk lot. So now you can see here's all our blends, and none of them are complete yet. So now the next step will be is to go to this scale, and I'm going to do that on a separate video. So this will be video 1, and the other one will be video 2. Thank you.